So what exactly is creative financing? We're getting into 2026, and I believe there's going to be a lot of creative financing deals that are available. So what exactly is creative financing? So let's say we have a property and a person is falling behind on their mortgage. They don't want to go into foreclosure because if they go into foreclosure, it's going to ruin their credit and they can't buy another house. So we have this thing called subject to. You can do it in some states, not every state. So you have to check your state guidelines to see if you can actually do it. Because subject to consists of having a warranty deed, a security deed, and then a deed in lieu of foreclosure. Now, I'm in Georgia, so we've got all three of those. Whenever somebody buys a house, they sign this paperwork. They sign a warranty deed, they sign a security deed for the bank, and then they also sign a deed in lieu of foreclosure. This is for the bank too. That tells you basically, if you fall behind, we can come and do a foreclosure on your property, you know? So that's the deed in lieu of foreclosure. So creative financing says, I'm going to take the place of that person on a loan. So some of y'all are wondering, hey, can the bank even allow that to happen? The bank will allow that to happen if you're sitting back and you work it with the person. They want to make sure that the monthlies are actually just paid. All right, they just want to make sure it's paid. That's one of the things that investors, they more or less ask for forgiveness later. Okay, they don't really ask for permission to do that. But at the end of the day, the bank really isn't really thinking about it. They're more concerned with you turning around and making sure that payment is in. So when we've done that in the past, that subject to, we make sure we set up a payment set up with the seller, so we can send that payment directly to the mortgage lender. We also turn around and we make sure that we get statements that are sent right to us, so we know if the escrow charges change, for example. All those things help you now make sure that payment is paid and paid in on time. Now, you have to be a person of character. So if you're going to do a deed, if you're going to do some type of subject to, you got to make sure you make that monthly payment. Because the person is going to go into the mortgage company, go into the attorney. They're going to sit down and they're going to sign that property over to you. And in some cases, you may pay them $5,000, $10,000, or a couple $1,000s for doing that signing. But once it's signed over to you, the right to transact, when I say use that property or run that property, or you're in control of that property, it comes from that warranty deed. It does. That warranty deed is filed with the state. So if somebody went in and, for example, wanted to check the tax records, they will see your name there. They wouldn't see their name there. But the loan stays with the person. That's the security deed. That helps a lot of people avoid that foreclosure because they can't sell the house, but they want to get rid of the house. So there you have it, subject to. That is one of the creative vehicles that I've used before in the past. Investors have used. I learned that from an old investor, you know, and he taught me when I was an agent. He said, hey, man, check this out. And I saw him do it. And when I saw him do it, I was able to sell and buy property using that creative technique. It's a real technique. It's not illegal. It's not unethical. Now, people will say, Leon, it is unethical because you're lying to the bank. No. You're taking the person's place on making the payments, and the bank doesn't care. They just want to get their payments. People go back and forth with it. Listen, you use it at your own discretion because some deals require a subject to. Some deals, you're in a position that the deal comes in, they're facing foreclosure. You can't get the financing together. You're not doing a coming in and buying it with cash, or even you need financing. So you can't get that done. That subject to has always helped. Now, I'm going to tell you, this is a caveat. With those subject tos, you want to make sure that your attorney does a clear background check and a title search on that property. Because we've fallen in the past. We've seen water bills, tax bills, IRS liens recorded against the property. And you don't want that. That means you can't turn around and resell it. You know, you can't offer it out as owner financing. You can't do any of that stuff. It limits your hands. It ties your hands with those liens against it. So you want to make sure your attorney goes in and he checks to make sure that that title only has the mortgage on there, whether it's the first or the second. I'm keeping an eye out for my dog. Either the first or the second, it doesn't matter. But we want to make sure that they only have the mortgage. And if there is any liens, those liens are taken care of before you take the property over. Real simple. Well, Simple for some. You know what makes this easier? Getting an attorney that is a great real estate professional. That person can go in there and they know what a subject to looks like, so they know what to look like. I know they know what to look for. So I hope this helps somebody, man. Hey, follow me on the Patreon or like, subscribe, follow for more content. Let me go get this done.